Hey, welcome back to my Let's Play of Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Today, let's kick things off.
So, we've got Saren on the run.
It won't be long now. Saren's good, but I'm better.
Good. He's rotten. To the core. I could tell as soon as I met him.
Why didn't you tell me this sooner?
I would have if I thought it was important.
I think I'd like to hear about it just the same.
This was a while ago. A bunch of mercs were bragging about a job out near the edges of the Terminus systems. They said it paid well and the boss was never around to ride them. They said he was looking for more men, too. So I checked it out.
I didn't know Saren was openly recruiting mercs.
It wasn't that open, and he only showed his face once. We'd been raiding ships in the area for months when we took out this massive cargo freighter. Our biggest haul yet. I was on board checking bodies for valuables, looking for some extra credits. That's when I saw him.
What did Saren want with the ship?
I don't know what he wanted. He was just moving through the ship, watching. A couple of the mercs called him by name, but he never spoke to them. Never spoke to anyone. I had a really bad feeling about him, so I got the hell out. Didn't even wait to get paid.
Yeah, he sounds like kind of a creepy bastard.
Whose ship was it?
There was a Volus trading vessel. Big one. Lots of guards. But they were no match for us.
What kind of cargo was the freighter carrying? What was Saren after?
I don't know. All I saw on that ship was food and medical supplies. There were some basic weapons, but nothing big. If there was anything of value on that ship, I didn't see it. That's why I didn't mention it sooner.
That's the only time you saw him?
Yeah. Didn't even know who he was. Still wouldn't if I hadn't joined up with you. But my instincts were right. Every other merc on that mission turned up dead within a week. Every damn one.
Very curious. Makes you wonder... What I wonder is if, perhaps, the whole point of Saren recruiting all those mercs was so that he could kill them. You know, get out there, see a bunch of mercs, get some information about them, and then, you know, kill them at that point.
So long, Wrex.
Shepard. Shepard?
Wrex?
Shepard?
Wrex?
Shepard?
Wrex?
Okay, I'll stop doing that.
Shepard?
Are you Lots of...
So we leave. Every Krogan is infected. It's just who we are, Shepard.
So long, Wrex.
Shepard.
Talked to Ashley already. Let's have a quick chat with Garrus here.
Commander, how are you?
Why did you want to be a C-Sec officer in the first place?
That's a good question. There were several reasons, I guess.
I don't know if it's just me, but the volume seems weirdly low here.
Like what?
Probably the same as most officers. I wanted to fight injustice, wanted to help people. I guess my father had something to do with it too. He was C-Sec, one of the best. I grew up hearing about his accomplishments or seeing his picture on the vids after a big arrest. He's taking my resignation pretty hard.
That's tough. But you'd think he'd be impressed you're going after Saren.
My father's a C-Sec man to the bone. Do things right or don't do them at all, he says. He thinks I'm being too rash, too impatient. He's worried I'll become just like Saren. He actually talked me out of becoming a Spectre when I was younger, for the same reasons.
You were asked to be a Spectre.
Well, I was targeted as a possible Spectre candidate, me and about 1,000 other Turian military recruits. I could have received special training, but my father didn't like it. He despises the Spectres. He hates the idea of someone having unlimited power with no accountability. He wouldn't like you, Commander. No offense.
I suppose I can understand his concern.
You can.
Well, yeah.
But Saren's not going to play by our rules, C-Sec's rules. If you want to nail Saren, you need to send someone who isn't restricted by policies and procedures.
Just because you can break the rules doesn't mean you should. I don't need to stoop to Saren's level to stop him. And neither do you, Garrus.
I see what you mean, but I'll think about it. Thanks, Commander.
Bit late in the game for me to be doing this, but the volume seems way too loud during a lot of conversations on the ship. So much as I like the music in this game, just going forward, I'm gonna have the volume turned down just a little bit. Oh, hey, more Codex.
Shepard, I'm glad you're here.
Good to see you smiling again, so to speak.
I'm sleeping much better now. I guess I'm getting used to how quiet your ship is. I still think a lot about my pilgrimage, though. I know Saren's our top priority, but with all the worlds we go to, I was hoping to find something to bring back to the flotilla.
We've still got a long way to go. You'll find something to take back.
Yes, but it cannot just be some derelict ship my people can use for salvage. It has to be more than that. There's a lot expected of me.
Oh, really?
What's so special about you?
It's my father. He's the senior member of the Admiralty Board. He's one of only 5 people who can overrule the decisions of the Conclave for the good of the migrant fleet. My father is responsible for the lives of 17 million people. Our entire race is in his hands, and I'm his only child.
So are you some kind of heir to the Quarian throne or something?
No, it doesn't work that way. My father's position isn't hereditary. I'll probably never serve on the Admiralty Board myself. Officially, I'm just the same as any other citizen. But it doesn't work that way in practice. People have always treated me differently because of who my father is.
You must get all kinds of special privileges.
I probably had it easier than most growing up, but it's not all good. People like my father have enemies, and they're not above using me to get to him.
Sounds rough.
That must be tough on you.
My people place a high value on family and ancestry. There's an unspoken expectation that I'll live up to my father's example. Everyone's waiting for me to do something great on my pilgrimage, something that will forever change our lives for the better. If I don't, it's like I failed, and that reflects badly on both me and my father.
The work you're doing here is more important than anything any Quarian's ever done before.
Yes, I know. But you have to understand Quarian culture. We're a very insular society. The events beyond the flotilla don't much matter to the average citizen. Our greatest dream is that one day we'll return to our homeworld and drive out the Geth. But even if we stop Saren, that's not going to happen. There's still millions of Geth behind the veil. Until they're gone, our exile will continue.
What would you need to bring back to make everyone happy?
Something that would help us better understand the Geth. They've changed significantly since the exile. They've continued to evolve. We've done our best to study them, but it's not easy. They're very reclusive. Until recently, they never went beyond the borders of the Veil. And all the Geth we run into now are under Saren's control. We'd need to find Geth operating on their own, independently. But I don't want this to get in the way of our mission, Shepard. First, we stop Saren. Then I'll worry about my own problems.
That's fair. And hey, didn't we hear something about a Geth buildup and...
What was your father like?
It wasn't easy growing up as the daughter of one of the Admiralty. Even before he joined the board, he was a prominent figure. People looked to him for leadership. He had to set an example, and he expected the same of his daughter. Plus, he was pretty strict, a military man through and through. He never allowed me to settle for anything less than excellence. As a kid, I sometimes felt like he was pushing me too hard. But now I'm old enough to appreciate what he taught me. The world doesn't owe us anything. If we want something in life, we have to earn it.
Where was your mother in all this?
Mother was around, but she always seemed to kind of blend into the background. Almost like she was overshadowed by my father. He tends to do that to people. She passed on about 5 years ago. Some airborne virus that swept through the fleet. Happens sometimes when the filters start to break down. I think my father took it pretty hard. After she was gone, he became even more focused on his work. I think that was his way of dealing with the grief.
Hey everybody, I just realized that my mic was turned off this whole time. Sorry about that. Welcome to the video. I should probably just restart it, but where's the fun in that? So let's just finish up this conversation with Tali, and then I'll quickly go over some of the stuff I said beforehand. Anyway, interesting stuff about her
Sounds
family.
like a tough upbringing. You don't resent your father at all?
Like I said, it wasn't easy. My father's not the kind of person you bond with, and he wasn't around all that much. Too busy. People counted on him, and he took his duties seriously. Even when he was around, he always seemed a bit distant, like his mind was always somewhere else. Come to think of it, I can't ever remember seeing him smile. Not once. It's like he was always weighed down by all that responsibility. I mean, I know he cares about me, but he never really showed it, not in the usual way. I guess the best thing I can say about my father is that I respect him.
How can you tell if he smiled? Because since he'd pretty much always be wearing his mask. Because like the Quarians wear their masks even in the flotilla most of the time.
I'll talk about something else.
Like what?
I should go.
See you later.
A lot of people dislike Tali in this game, seeing her as sort of as just sort of a walking codex on the Quarians. I've read an article once, and I will never be able to find it again. I've looked for it, but I've never been able to find it. That sort of looked at Tali in the context of a community-based people, and suggested that it made sense from that perspective. We in the West tend to be individualistic. But, you know, there are other cultures where that tend to be more, don't want to say tribalistic, but more focused on being on the community than on the individual. And you know, the Quarians would be like that, and you know, Tali fits in that sense. I really wish I could find that article again, because it was really interesting, but I've looked for it and just have no idea. Garrus, he almost got the, you know, he could have gotten Spectre training. That's interesting. Clearly the Turians believe that that the Spectres are sort of something that they should be part of. And then with Wrex, really interesting stuff about his encounter with Saren. One thing I do wonder about is if the whole point of Saren recruiting the mercs was so that he could then kill them. You know, Saren's definitely ruthless enough to do something like that, even if it means sacrificing a bunch of merchant ships. So, yeah, maybe he was recruiting those mercs and letting them attack ships just so he could get information on the mercs and then later kill them. Just a theory. Never anything, like, there's nothing in any of the expanded media to confirm one way or the other if that was what happened.
Good timing, Commander. We got a transmission coming in from the Citadel. Top priority clearance.
Is it the ambassador?
It's not his signature. I think it's from the Council. I'll patch it through to the comm room.
Alright.
Commander Shepard, we've received information that may be critical to your mission against Saren.
I'll take all the help I can get.
We've received an urgent message from one of our infiltration regiments in the Traverse.
You mean spies?
Spectres tend to attract attention, Commander, but they are only one arm of the Council. Special task groups are often a better option for monitoring developing situations.
Nothing
We
wrong with that.
currently have several infiltration units scattered throughout the border regions of Citadel space. This particular unit was gathering intel on Saren.
What did they find?
Unfortunately, the message we received was little more than static. The infiltration team must be in a situation where they can't set up proper interstellar communications. But the message was sent on a channel reserved for mission-critical communications. Whatever they were trying to tell us, we know it was important. Considering your interest in Saren, we thought you might want to investigate this. Find out what happened to our team. The signal originated from the planet Virmire.
I'll look into it.
The Council
Good to know.
prefers not to become involved in the specifics of Spectre activities. We only want you to be aware of all your options, including Virmire. Good luck, Commander Shepard.
Sure.
We will keep you advised if we learn anything else.
So that's interesting. Good to know. I'll be honest, I usually do Virmire now. I will hold... There's a specific reason, which I will get to when we do Virmire. I'll do Novaria before Virmire this time, just for maximum amount of dialogue, but just that I think I've started ruining something. But yeah, I'll do Novaria next. But yeah, usually I do Virmire before Novaria for a very specific reason, but we'll learn about that later. Alright, so investigate shipments. Voyager cluster. Where is Voyager? Last one I checked, of course it is. Alright, I think there was something in the Amazon system, so I'll go there. Alright, I forgot I was still docked on Feros. Yeah.
Commander, incoming signal from 5th Fleet HQ on the Citadel.
Commander Shepard, something uncomfortable has just come up. In the First Contact War, we fired a lot of espionage probes into Turian space. We just received a mission-complete burst from one of them.
Where's it been in the meantime?
No idea. Lost in transit. These probes were built in a hurry after First Contact.
So, yeah, so this can't be good then, considering he started by saying it's uncomfortable.
What makes this uncomfortable?
When these probes were launched, we didn't have any idea who we were fighting. We didn't want to risk aliens examining our technology. The probe has a demo nuke built in. A 20-kiloton tactical fusion warhead. About equal to the bomb dropped on Hiroshima back in the 20th. If somebody finds that probe, tampers with it, you don't need me to finish, Commander.
That does sound bad. And, also, pretty extreme.
I understand this must be handled, but I don't have anyone trained to deal with this sort of thing, sir.
I know. I wouldn't ask if it wasn't important. These probes have been classified for 26 years. The Council will call fusion bomb booby traps dangerous and irresponsible. The Alliance would face censure if they find this probe.
They wouldn't be wrong.
I'm asking you because the Normandy can get on site quickly and quietly. It's in the Voyager cluster.
It's in the Voyager cluster. That's the opposite side of the Alliance from Turian space. How did it get there?
I don't know. It's possible someone recovered it safely and brought it there. It's also possible it got very badly lost. It could have been wandering the relay network since the war.
Yeah. Yeah, it's never that straightforward. Sadly.
We'll get on it immediately, Admiral, and we'll be discreet.
I appreciate that, Commander. Good luck. Fifth Fleet out.
Yeah, attaching a bomb to a probe, that does seem a bit extreme. But hey, what do I know? Alright. Turn down the music again while I, Alright, so Nedma is the second of the Amazon system's arid super-terrestrial worlds. It is considerably less dense than its neighbor Dernuka, and has an atmosphere of carbon dioxide and ethane. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of iron-laced silicates with deposits of sulfur. And hey, it has polonium as well. Dernuka is an enormous terrestrial world nearly twice the size of Earth. Its environment is similar to that of Mars, scoured deserts of iron-laced silicate dust. Dernuka's atmosphere mainly consists of carbon dioxide and argon, but the planet's mass is great enough that measurable amounts of helium and even molecular hydrogen remain trapped in its atmosphere. The planet's gravity well is deep enough that it has collected nearly a dozen small satellites, most captured asteroids, and its surface is scarred by many large impact craters, marking the final resting place of other captured asteroids. Cybin. A small rock and ice planet, Cybin has an extremely thin atmosphere of hydrogen sulfide and ethane. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of magnesium and silicate with deposits of iron. Cybin's crust contains significant deposits of green serpentine, a mineral formed by volcanic activity. This suggests Cybin was a more geologically active world in the distant past. While scanning the planet Cybin, you discovered a large mine grid in geosynchronous orbit. With help from Navigator Presley, your recon team recovered a small unmanned probe marked with the Quadim Outpost insignia. This system seems to be the place for probes, huh? Tremar is a standard hydrogen-helium gas giant with traces of methane and nitrogen in its upper atmosphere. And is that all the planets? I think it might be. So, Agibinium. Agibinium is a small terrestrial world with an extremely thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and krypton. Though the planet has sufficient mass to maintain a much thicker atmosphere, much of it has been blasted away. The red giant Amazon is a long-period variable star, currently at the nadir of a 16-year cycle. At peak, its energy output doubles, flashing Agavinium with intense heat and radiation. The crust is mainly composed of aluminum with deposits of tin. Much of the surface is coated with fine silicate dust, which easily penetrates the smallest cracks to foul machinery. Alright then. Really doesn't matter who you bring. Believe it or not, I actually do have a specific reason for bringing Garrus along. Oh. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, I like this helmet on him. It looks so goofy. Gets rid of his eye visor, though. Not cool. And, oh, Wrex has a bunch as well. Let's see. Yeah, let's just make you unkillable. Yeah, let's just keep working on making you unkillable. Yeah. So, huge amount of health, which regenerates 5.5 per second. Maxed out barrier. Maxed out fitness. Master immunity, which means he stops taking damage. Combat armor. Reduces damage. Shield boost, giving him yeah, he's just gonna be pretty much unkillable pretty soon. Oops, they came in here to get to the map. Alright, let's start with the homing beacon. I'll do that, yeah. Again, I'm making you suffer with me for this. Okay, actually, this isn't too bad. Yes, it is. Yes, it is bad. Okay. Ugh. They just made such a terrible decision with the terrain in this game, is what it is. They didn't think it through. Samarium. I don't even know what Samarium is. A rare element, apparently. Alright. Now let's go find that beacon. And, that's cool looking. That's the stun Amazon. I just love doing that. This looks like it'd be a good spot for a Thresher mob, but there isn't one here. Don't think. Thresher mob pits usually do have a couple of small hills in them. Speaking of Thresher mobs, I was looking at to see if it's still possible to kill them on foot. Apparently, a few people have managed it, but yeah, it's something that really isn't a thing anymore. Which is, on the one hand, makes sense, but on the other hand...
Mineshaft. That's the source of the signal.
This smells.
I agree. Your probe didn't crash. It was moved here.
This one, you say that their grasp of the obvious is inspiring.
There's a nuclear weapon down there. We can't abandon it. Just stay on guard.
Right.
And yep, now the generic mine. Like I said before, I understand why they all have the same layout. It's just, I wish they'd had more time and resources more time, bigger budget, all that to make the mines at least look different from each other. But, you know, it's a pretty minor complaint. Really? Absolutely nothing down here to collect? No
Just lead
crates?
the way.
You kidding me with this? Come on. Cheap. Alright. Bomb's down this way, so let's go turn it off.
That was a detonator. Someone just screwed us.
Shepard. At last.
In the original, this was, for some reason, a human. Which made absolutely no sense.
Have we met?
My name is Ilanos Halliot. I doubt you know it. Who do you think runs the Terminus clan, Shepard, huh? Thousands of pirates, slavers, criminals of every stripe?
You assume I give a damn. That's cute.
The strongest leads. The one who kills the most men, seizes the most ships, pillages the most colonies. 3 years ago, I was the strongest. I used my influence to assemble a fleet. We would drive your kind out of the Verge.
You're the one behind the attack on Elysium.
I was the motivator, the instigator, the one who promised glory and riches for sacking the largest human colony in the cluster. The one blamed when it failed. Failed! I was ruined when your kind held against the Blitz. What better way to recover my reputation than by eliminating the first human Spectre?
Yeah, as you can see, it made no sense for Halliot to be a human. It was a weird thing, and it wasn't like the original intention was not for him to be a human. I don't know why they gave him a human model, even when it was always clear that he was not meant to be human. Making him a Turian is definitely the better choice.
My crew will come for me.
Oh, let them. We'll be ready. An Alliance warship would make a fine prize. Oh, and if you haven't noticed, the ores here are laced with heavy metals. I'm afraid your suit radios aren't powerful enough to transmit out.
It doesn't have to be like this, Halliot.
Empty words from a dead woman. Goodbye, Shepard.
Orders, Commander.
We've got air and light and the Normandy's still in orbit. Let's look for another way out.
There's no time to get out. You have to disable the bomb before it goes off. Yeah, 10 seconds. Luckily, it's super easy. Five, 4, 3, 2. You've disabled the bomb. Yeah, I let it go to build a little bit of tension. Yep. Blocked, we can't go back the way we came. But hey, this door, which was actually locked before, is now open. Alright. So there's a couple ways you can deal with this. There we go. Alright, who's left? Oh, another Krogan.
We got them all, Shepard.
No, we didn't. Now we got them all.
Perimeter clear.
The other way to deal with it is just run down to the Mako over there. But honestly, the way I did it is way more fun, I feel. Because, yeah, I mean, you can just run down and sort of try to kill them all. Oh. Where the hell did you come from? Halliot went through a lot of trouble to draw you here. A pity it ended like this. For him, at least. Now that you're above ground, your suit radio has re-established connection with the Normandy. Time to get the hell out of here. There is actually
Negative
one
contact.
other extremely cheap way of dealing with it. Yeah, return to Normandy, and then you can. Anomaly over there. I'll get to that in a second. Yeah, you can just return to the. As soon as you get out of the cage, you can return to the Normandy and come back down in your in the Mako again. At which point, yeah, you're free to kill people. That is the absolute cheapest way of doing it, which, to a certain extent, makes it the funniest way of doing it. Jeez. Whew. Alright. Anomaly was back this way. So what are you over here? Oh, there you are. Scavenger corpse. Hey. There we go. This body is a long way from anything and appears to have been here for quite some time. On the body is a book of drawings, including one of the Cycler outpost insignia. So weird that I'm just running around collecting this stuff. And, okay, so that looks like there's a couple of mineral deposits. And I don't think there's anything else here. Oh, actually, yes, there is. Gonna go this way first. Oh, yeah. Yep, another anomaly already. Woohoo!
En route.
Ah, here we go. Brushing away the carbonization on the door of the contragravity speeder, you see the Nizo brand name. Judging by the charring, the wreckage has been here since the star's last variable peak. The corpse is wearing the remains of an expensive suit, and would appear to be melted antique aviator goggles. Yep, that's it. That's it. There's nothing actually... Yeah, there's nothing else actually there. It's just a random dead vehicle. A random dead guy. Which is kind of cool. Yeah, you just find that sort of stuff laying around. Yeah, not everything you find has to be part of some larger quest line or anything like that. Sometimes you just come across dead bodies. And there's nothing you can get out of it. No matter how much of a kleptomaniac you are, not every dead body is a chance for something to steal. shocking, I know, in this game. In RPGs in general, really. You know, RPG protagonists are all about stealing everything they can. Even from dead bodies. Gotta love the, he's gotta love those sorts of, RPG tropes. Anyway. Alright. So what are you? Aside from a bit of a pain to get to.
Got it.
Beryllium. And I think there's one other thing here, so I will meet you at the last mineral deposit. It took me entirely too long to get out of the hole I was in after getting that last mineral deposit. You are so lucky I didn't have you keep you with me for that. And some magnesium. All right. So that's this planet done. Hey, I finished the gases. And, made pretty good progress on the rest. Data disks, not too far. Not too bad there. Pretty close to being finished with the Turian insignias. Plenty left on the, Asari writings. Yeah, alright. Before I do that, though, how about some Codex? Let's I got Asari culture. I believe I did read that. Asari military doctrine. The Asari military resembles a collection of tribal warrior bands with no national structure. Each community organizes its own unit, as the locals see fit, and elect a leader to command them. Units from populous cities are large and well-equipped, while those from farm villages may be only a few women with small arms. There is no uniform. Everyone wears what they like. The Asari military is not an irregular militia, however. Those who serve are full-time professionals. The average Asari huntress is in the maiden stage of her life and has devoted 20 to 30 years to studying the martial arts. Asari choose to be warriors at a young age, and their education from that point is dedicated to sharpening the mind and body for that sole purpose. When they retire, they possess an alarming proficiency for killing. Huntresses fight individually or in pairs, depending on the tactics preferred in their town. One-on-one, a huntress is practically unbeatable, possessing profound tactical insight, a hunter's eye, and a dancer's grace and alacrity. Biotics are common enough that some capability is a requirement to be trained as a huntress. Lack of biotic talent excludes a young Asari from military service. While fluid and mobile, Asari can't stand up in a firestorm the way a Krogan, Turian, or a human could. Since their units are small and typically lack heavy armor and support weapons, they are almost incapable of fighting a conventional war, particularly one of a defensive nature. So Asari units typically undertake special operations missions. Like an army of ninja, they are adept at ambush, infiltration, and assassination, demoralizing and defeating their enemies through intense, focused guerrilla strikes. As a popular Turian saying puts it, the Asari are the finest warriors in the galaxy. Fortunately, there are not many of them. Salarian Special Tasks Group. Salarian intelligence field agents are grouped into an organization called the Special Tasks Group. STG operators work in independent cells, performing dangerous missions such as counterterrorism, infiltration, reconnaissance, assassination, and sabotage. The STG is a proactive organization, puncturing worrisome trends before they become movements. At any time, a dozen groups are operating covertly within the lawless Terminus systems, sowing dissent among the various factions. Civilian analysts also note how troublesome hinge point individuals in Terminus frequently meet unexpected deaths. STG operators are feared throughout the galaxy for their clear-eyed, remorseless practicality. They are willing to do whatever it takes to achieve their mission, even if it kills civilians or results in the team's own destruction. In many ways, they are akin to the Council Spectres. Recently, a number of STG cells have been redeployed from Solarian Union. It is assumed they are in the Terminus and Attican Traverse, investigating reports of Geth activity beyond the Perseus Veil. Turian culture. While Turians are individuals with personal desires, their instinct is to equate the self with the group, and set aside personal desires for the good of all. Turians are taught to have a strong sense of personal accountability, the Turian honor that other races find so remarkable. Turians are taught to own every decision they make, good or ill. The worst sin they can make in the eyes of their people is to lie about their own actions. Turians who murder will try to get away with it, but if directly questioned, most will confess the crime. Turians have a strong inclination toward public service and self-sacrifice, so they tend to be poor entrepreneurs. To compensate, they accepted the mercantile Volus as a client race, offering protection in exchange for their fiscal expertise. The Turian military is the center of their society. It is not just an armed force, it is an all-encompassing public works organization. The military police are also the civic police. The fire brigades serve the civilian population as well as military facilities. The Corps of Engineers builds and maintains spaceports, schools, water purification plants, and power stations. The Merchant Marine ensures that all worlds get needed resources. And military doctrine. Although they lack the brutality of the Krogan, the skill of the Asari, and the virtuosity of the humans, the Turian military has formidable discipline. Officers and NCOs are lifers with years of field experience. Enlisted personnel are thoroughly trained and stay calm under fire. Turian units don't break. Even if their entire line collapses, they fall back in order, setting ambushes as they go. A popular saying holds, "You will only see a Turian's back once he's dead." Boot camp begins on the 15th birthday. Soldiers receive a year of training before being assigned to a field unit. Officers train for even longer. Most serve until the age of 30, at which point they become part of the reserves. Even if they suffer injuries preventing frontline service, most do support work behind the lines. Biotics are uncommon. While admired for their exacting skills, biotics' motives are not always fully trusted by the common soldier. The Turians prefer to assign their biotics to specialist teams called cabals. Command and control is decentralized and flexible. Individual squads can call for artillery and air support. They make extensive use of combat drones for light duties and practice combined arms. Infantry operates with armor, supported by overhead gunships. Strategically, they are methodical and patient and dislike risky operations. Tradition is important. Each legion has a full-time staff of historians who chronicle its battle honors in detail. The oldest have records dating back to the Turian Iron Age. If a legion is destroyed in battle, it is reconstituted rather than replaced. The Turians recruit auxiliary units from conquered or absorbed minor races. Auxiliaries are generally light infantry or armored cavalry units that screen and support the main Turian formations. At the conclusion of their service in the auxiliaries, recruits are granted Turian citizenship. Done that. Military doctrine. The Alliance military is of great concern to the galaxy. At first contact with the Turians, they were completely inexperienced. Turian disdain changed to respect after the relief of Shang-Chi, where the humans surprised them with novel technologies and tactics. The human devotion to understanding and adapting to modern space warfare stunned the staid Council races. For hundreds of years, they had lived behind secure walls of long-proven technologies and tactics. The Council regards the Alliance as a sleeping giant. Less than 3% of humans volunteer to serve in their military, a lower proportion than any other species. While competent, Alliance soldiers are neither as professional as the Turians, nor as skilled as the Asari. Their strengths lie in fire support, flexibility, and speed. They make up for lack of numbers with sophisticated technical support, VIs, drones, artillery, electronic warfare, and emphasis on mobility and individual initiative. Their doctrine is not based on absorbing and dishing out heavy shocks like the Turians and Krogan. Rather, they bypass enemy strong points and launch deep into their rear, cutting supply lines and destroying headquarters and support units, leaving enemies to wither on the vine. On defense, the human military is a rapid reaction force that lives by Sun Tzu's maxim, "He who tries to defend everything defends nothing." Garrisons are intended for scouting rather than combat, avoiding engagement to observe and report on invaders using drones. The token garrisons of human colonies make it easy for alien powers to secure them, for which the Alliance media criticizes the military. However, the powerful fleet stationed at phase gate nexuses such as Arcturus are just a few hours or days from any colony within their sphere of responsibility. In the event of an attack, they respond with overwhelming force. Yeah, this is all about Quarians.
After the Thresher, Varen are omnivores with a preference for living prey. Originally native to the Krogan homeworld of Tuchanka, they are, like most life from Tuchanka, savage, clannish, and consummate survivors. They are pack hunters when vulnerable prey is readily available, and become scavengers when outnumbered or outclassed. Their supreme adaptability, vicious demeanor, and rapid breeding cycle have made them ubiquitous and dangerous pests on many worlds. Virtually everywhere the Krogan have been, Varen infestations have followed, wreaking havoc with the native ecology. The Krogan have had a love-hate relationship with Varen for millennia, alternately fighting them for territory and embracing them as treasured companions. To this day, Krogan raise them as beasts of war. One of the common subgenus of Varen has metallic silver scales, leading to the rather unusual nickname, fish dogs.
Hehe. And, a lot in these ones. But that will wait until after I do this one. Was it that one? This one. Maroon Sea Vostok. There we go. Caspian. Vostok.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Commander, I'm glad you were in the area. We've got an emergency situation, and you're the only one I can trust to get the job done.
Not even gonna ask.
How can I help, Admiral?
Biotic fanatics have hit a medical research station with a psychotropic drug. The drugs have temporarily driven researchers crazy, and the biotics are effectively using them as human shields.
So if I shoot everything that moves, a lot of researchers are gonna die.
Exactly. A normal team could handle the biotics, but a lot of innocent researchers would die during the operation. That's why I contacted you. I'm hoping you can keep the casualties to a minimum.
I'll do everything within my power to bring those researchers back safely, Admiral.
I know you will, Commander. I'm sending you the station coordinates now. Fifth Fleet out.
This mission, by the way, is specific to Paragons. Once you hit 75% Paragon, you get that mission. And apparently go into the 75% Paragon and apparently go into the right system. Clomarthu has a reducing atmosphere of methane and nitrogen. The surface is hot and mainly composed of sodium with deposits of uranium. In terms of size and orbit, Clomarthu is a virtual twin of Earth, but utterly lacks life. Alco! The geological properties of Alco have been scanned from orbit, but little else is known about it. A fairly typical mix outer system terrestrial of rock and ice, Alco has a trace atmosphere of krypton and xenon. Its crust is composed of silicates and water ice with deposits of aluminum. Unregistered starship traffic has been recorded in the vicinity of this planet. Travel is not advised. And something in the asteroid belt. There we go. A metal-rich asteroid, specifically palladium. Potaton. A rather small hydrogen-helium gas giant. Potaton's atmosphere contains large quantities of chlorine. Scans of Potaton revealed a strange, unmanned vessel in orbit around the planet. Tali brought it on board and determined it was a Sari-made, but very old. She discovered several ancient artifacts inside the vessel, including one of Matriarch Dilanaga's writings. Side note, you'll never see Viara mentioned in any of these things, just because you can't actually wait until the end of the game before recruiting her. Alright.
Looks like we've got an active distress beacon on the planet below, Commander. No message, just a locator signal.
Alright, sounds good. Notacrux is a verdant world with abundant water, temperate climate, a thick nitrogen-oxygen atmosphere, and a rich ecosystem. It would seem to be perfect for life. The relatively high percentage of oxygen makes humans feel energized and alive, though it has also allowed insect analogs to grow to frightful sizes. That alone makes it somewhere you wouldn't want to be. Giant insect? No thank you. Unfortunately, Notacrux is a case of almost not quite. Thunderstorms are as common as on Earth, but in Notacrux's thicker, oxygen-rich atmosphere, they are deafening and spark constant wildfires. More damning, however, are the large and ubiquitous tufts of pollen that float on the high-pressure air. In humans and other oxygen-breathing species, they cause severe or lethal allergic reactions. That said, I am able to get out and walk around, so it's not so unlike that other planet, it's fine if it gets in. You know what? We're trying to rescue someone, so Liara and Garrus, why not? As always, it makes absolutely no difference who you bring with you. Oh! Enemies right off the bat. So who we been here? Mercenaries? Geth? Got him. Good. Yeah, the truth is, the, oops. There we go. The, I don't know. I don't have very good aim with the, minigun. Alright, well. Head for the anomaly first, I guess. So I think there's something over here. May as well grab this very, very quickly. Oh, and then I'll hit that shed, see if there's what's in there to steal. I mean, to salvage. I'm a hero. I don't steal. I salvage. Alright, I think this planet's one of the worst to drive on, I think. Get the impression I should have gone to the, You know what? I know for a fact that this will be a pain in the ass to climb out of. So, I'm just gonna make this easy on myself. Seriously, I'm just gonna save myself like 5 minutes of bother. Because seriously, it's... I don't even want to think about how frustrating it would have been climbing out of that big damn hole. And let's head back to that shed, see if there's anything there. Did I miss it? I missed it. Ah, there it is. So I guess we're trying to take the easy path. Well, that looks like it's been destroyed for a while, and... Wow, okay. Jeez, I swear the heart, it's like there's... When am I supposed to go? Like, there's literally no time. Whew. Alright. Hey, that is some damn fine armor. Ooh. Nice big boost to damage protection and a massive boost to shields. Drop in tech biotic protection, but who cares? And it looks a little bit better than the other one. Oh, did I forget to assign somebody? Oh, I leveled up? Oh no, Liara. Duh. Saw the human armor and thought it was me. Alright, improve the return charge on lift. Sure. Right, and now for the Anomaly. And yeah, nothing on this, which seems to be some sort of ship of some sort. Which they really which BioWare really half-assed. Like, they could have made that look so much better here. Yeah, I get, especially for when they first made the game, tons of limitations. But come on. They could have done so much better a job at making that look like a crash transport thing. Alright. Tumbling head over wheels, I guess. Gotta be a better way. Please let there be a better way, because I don't want to have to climb that damn hill. That just looks like a massive pain in the ass to climb. Here we go. So what are you, little anomaly? Crash Turian thing, alright. This escape pod is half buried in material that has washed down from the mountains. Though it has obviously been here for centuries, the computer still has power. Linking in with your hardsuit, you recover a batch of files containing data on the Thracia colony. A name that's obviously meant to evoke ancient Greece in that case with this one. Right? I'm not mixing myself up here, right? Thrace, that was, whatever. Regardless, I've mentioned before that the Turians are space Romans, so... The Thracia colony is presumably just playing on that. We might have a new winner for most annoying planet to navigate. Hey, the space cows. I forgot that this was the planet with the space cows. Which means there's something very cool I will need to show you in a couple moments. Let's see. I'm guessing this... I think that's the right planet, right? No, not this planet. Alright, well, whatever. Let's just keep moving south to get to the science facility then. Saw a little bit of red there. There we go. There's the last one. Bye. Alright, so that's the last of them out here. Yeah, you may want to switch to something close range, Garrus. Sniper rifle doesn't tend to work well in close quarters. That's some random hurt. You? Nice little bottleneck. They can't even... Yeah, I don't think I've ever equipped the Geth pulse rifle on someone. Yeah, this is pulse rifle, Geth armory. Never actually. I don't think I've ever actually equipped that on anybody. The lack of upgrade slots is part of why I never really used it before. But yeah, just so I've never actually seen it fire before. Had no idea it shot like that. Neato keen. So yeah, it's got high damage, but like I said, lack of upgrade slots does make it a little bit more limited than a lot of than other sniper rifles. On the flip side, yeah. It kills things pretty good. It's just it can't yeah. you can't have it do additional damage to specific types of enemies. So, not bad. Not the best weapon in the game. I mean, the Spectre weapons are still better. The HMW ones.
Rescuers? Oh, thank God. See? I told you somebody would come to investigate that signal. My name is Dr. Ross, Chief Exogeny Researcher at this facility. We've been trapped in this room for days. We're almost out of food and water. You got here just in time.
Neat, I just completed the majority of the game, apparently.
I need to know what's going on. Why is this place crawling with Thorian creepers?
How do you know about the Thorian?
I know what Exogeny was up to. I saw what they let the Thorian do to those colonists, so I destroyed it.
Our secret's out then. No point in my lying. You already know the worst. The creepers here were created using altered samples from the specimens on Feros. We discovered a way to turn them into docile, obedient servants. Everything was going fine until a few days ago. Then all the creepers suddenly went berserk. Only a handful of us made it back into the safety of this room.
Any idea why they turned on you?
Maybe there was still some kind of link between the creepers and the Thorian back on Feros. The Thorian was unlike any other life form we've ever studied. I can't explain how, but maybe when it died, it somehow set off the creepers here.
Any chance some of the other people at the base might still be alive?
I doubt it. Too many creepers out there. They never stood a chance. We're the only ones left.
Why didn't you send a clear message asking for help? All we had was that signal from the emergency beacon.
This is a closed communications base. Exogeny was worried about someone on the project selling secrets to a rival firm or reporting our work to the authorities. We have no direct communication with the outside, only the emergency beacon. It sends a general distress signal to the Exogeny site on Feros. They're supposed to send a team to respond inside of 24 hours, but it sounds like they had problems of their own.
You could say that. Yeah, turning the creepers into servants, they're so gross. Why would anyone want those things as servants? They're just disgusting. And also, what kind of mad science nonsense are you working on? Like, come on. They were going to turn on you. You had to know that they were going to turn on you at some point.
I've heard all I need to.
Look, I know what we did here was wrong. I'll admit that. But it's over now. There's no sense reporting this to the authorities, right?
I am the authorities,
You were in charge of this project. The safety of the staff was your responsibility. They trusted you, and you betrayed that trust.
Be reasonable. I didn't mean for this to happen. Besides, how does it help anyone if I end up in jail? Normally Exogeny would have my back, but it sounds like they're going to have their hands full cleaning up the mess on Feros.
Probably.
But I've got money. A nice little emergency fund I set up. It's yours if you let us go.
I mean, tempting. I do like money, and really, I'm not keen on sending people to prison. But, yeah, no, screw you later.
Deserve justice. I have to take you in.
That's not going to happen. Open fire. Open fire!
Exogeny's second-rate mercs proved no match for a trained Alliance Marine. With the last of the science crew dead, there's no reason to linger here.
Perimeter secured.
What did this lady expect would happen when... Why did they listen to her? It's like... Kill the person who just waltzed through a bunch of creepers. Like, why was the rest of the team not like, no, you're on your own, lady. Yeah, still no good amps. Man, the amps in this game the amps just seem to be all garbage. And I'll play around more with the equipment off screen once I get back to the Normandy. But yeah, I just don't understand why her mercenary guards didn't just, like, refuse to attack. Why they didn't just, tell her she was on her own. I mean, they wouldn't really be held liable for what happened here. They were just, they're just hired guns. They're only here to keep her, to keep the people safe from, whatever. Like, they're probably there just to keep the keep the crew safe from any possible mercenary attacks or something. There we go. That's always fun when that happens. Or I suppose they would have been there, just in case the creepers did turn bad. But in which case they didn't do their jobs very well. But either way, like, they're not scientists. They had nothing to do with what was going on there. They weren't going to go to prison if for it all. Why not just say, "For you, lady, we're taking our chances with the guy who saved our lives." And again, it's like she's basically committing suicide by cop is what it was. Because, I mean, she had to know she wasn't going to be walking out of there alive once she said open fire. And, suicide by cop, sure, whatever. If you want to avoid prison that bad, yep. Sure, I got no problems with you doing that. But I just don't understand why the mercenaries agreed to her suicide by cop plan. And Cobalt. Garrus, get off the Mako, Garrus. You're so silly, Garrus. Alright, back to the Normandy. And, a little more of the Codex.
Combat hard suits use a dual-layer system to protect the wearer. The inner layer consists of fabric armor with kinetic padding. Areas that don't need to be flexible, such as the chest or shins, are reinforced with sheets of lightweight, ablative ceramic. The outer layer consists of automatically generated kinetic barriers. Objects traveling above a certain speed will trigger the barrier's reflex system and be deflected, provided there is enough energy left in the shield's power cell. Armored hardsuits are sealable to protect the wearer from extremes of temperature and atmosphere. Standard equipment includes an onboard mini-frame and a communications, navigation, and sensing suite. The mini-frame is designed to accept and display data from a weapon's smart targeting system to make it easier to locate and eliminate enemies. Kinetic barriers, more commonly called shields, provide protection against most mass accelerator weapons. Whether on a starship or a soldier's suit of armor, the basic principle remains the same. Kinetic barriers are repulsive mass effect fields, projected from tiny emitters. These shields safely deflect small objects traveling at rapid velocities. This affords protection from bullets and other dangerous projectiles, but still allows the user to sit down without knocking away their chair. The shielding afforded by kinetic barriers does not protect against extremes of temperature, toxins, or radiation. A mass accelerator propels a solid metal slug using precisely controlled electromagnetic attraction and repulsion. The slug is designed to squash or shatter on impact, increasing the energy it transfers to the target. If this were not the case, it would simply punch a hole right through, doing minimal damage. Accelerator design was revolutionized by Element Zero. A slug lightened by a mass effect field can be accelerated to greater speeds, permitting projectile velocities that were previously unattainable. If accelerated to a high enough velocity, a simple paint chip can impact with the same destructive force as a nuclear weapon. However, mass accelerators produce recoil equal to their impact energy. This is mitigated somewhat by the mass effect fields that rounds are suspended within. But weapon recoil is still the prime limiting factor on slug velocity. Medigel is a common medicinal salve used by paramedics, EMTs, and military personnel. It combines several useful applications: a local anesthetic, disinfectant, and clotting agent all in one. Once applied, the gel is designed to grip tight to flesh until subjected to a frequency of ultrasound. It is sealable against liquids, most notably blood, as well as contaminants and gases. The gel is a genetically engineered bioplasm created by the CERTA Foundation, a medical technology megacorp based on Earth. Technically, Medigel violates Council laws against genetic engineering, but to date, it has proved far too useful to ban.
Kind of interesting that it was developed by humanity. That apparently, throughout past 10,000 years or however long, I've been on the Citadel, that other species have never come up with the idea.
All modern infantry weapons, from pistols to assault rifles, use micro-scaled mass accelerator technology. Projectiles consist of tiny metal slugs suspended within a mass-reducing field, accelerated by magnetic force to speeds that inflict kinetic damage. The ammo magazine is a simple block of metal. The gun's internal computer calculates the mass needed to reach the target based on distance, gravity, and atmospheric pressure, then shears off an appropriate-sized slug from the block. A single block can supply thousands of rounds, making ammo a non-issue during any engagement. Top-line weapons also feature smart targeting that allows them to correct for weather and environment. Firing on a target in a howling gale feels the same as it does on a calm day at the practice range. Smart targeting does not mean a bullet will automatically find the mark every time the trigger is pulled. It only makes it easier for the marksman to aim.
Makes sense.
Biotics is...
Alright, before I save, I want to see if doing those two missions unlocks the next dialogue option for Wrex. Figure I got one or two more I get at least one more side quest episode before I go to do Novaria, but we'll be getting to it pretty soon.
What do you want, Shepard?
Here we go.
Why did you become a mercenary?
Lots of reasons.
Such as?
Such as, I needed to get out of our system. I needed to eat. I needed to survive.
Why not stay and help your people?
I tried to help. That's why I had to leave.
What happened?
Story time.
I was betrayed. I was head of a small tribe. We were trying to restore order after the war, but the other tribes were against us. They followed Jared, one of the few warlords who survived the war with the Turians. But he was old, and so were his ideas. He wanted to continue the war. He wanted us to fight. Turians, Solarians, each other. It didn't matter who, as long as we were fighting.
What did you want?
I just wanted Jared to shut up, to stop his ranting. I wanted him to stop leading the tribes astray. But he couldn't understand how much things had changed. We didn't have the numbers to go to war. Even if we did, the genophage made sure we couldn't replenish our numbers fast enough. I told them all to forget about war. We needed to focus on breeding, at least for one generation. And for a while, we were getting through. Some of the tribes started coming around.
Here he mentions tribes. In the future, it'll be switched to clans. From 2 onwards, the Krogan have clans rather than tribes. Honestly, I'm not sure if there's any real difference, but...
I take it the warlord didn't appreciate that.
No, he didn't. He arranged a crush with the tribes. A meeting on neutral ground. He wanted to talk. We met at the Hollows, near the graves of our ancestors. The skulls of our dead laid bare to remind us where we come from, and where we all go. It's as sacred as any Krogan place can be. Violence is forbidden.
Sounds like a trap to me. You must have suspected as much.
I did. But when your father invites you to a crush, well, there are some laws that even we hold sacred.
Jared was your father?
He was. Until that day. We talked, but we didn't get anywhere. When it was clear that I wouldn't join him, he gave the signal. His men leapt from the graves of our ancestors like Krogan undead. The few that were loyal to me died quickly.
Nice plan.
I escaped with my life, but not before I sank my dagger deep into my father's chest. That is why I left, and that's why I'll never go back.
You must have family other than your father.
Pretty badass, pretty hardcore.
You're trying to make me cry, Shepard. I've got some unfinished business with my family, but that's all.
It's a pretty good story. It's a pretty cool story that he told him. Yep. He told it well. He's a good storyteller, Wrex.
What kind of business?
Before I left, I made an
I like
oath
that
to
side.
my father's father. I swore to recover my family's battle armor. It was taken from him after the uprising.
What's so important about this armor?
It's a relic. Useless, really. But it was worn by 5 generations of my family before the war. It's rightfully mine. Originally, it was taken by the Turian military. We weren't allowed armor or weapons after the war. Now, it's in the hands of Taun Actus. A Turian scum who collects relics from the war. He's made millions selling Krogan artifacts that were stolen from my people. He's got several bases where he stores his goods. All fortified and guarded. I just don't know which base has my family's armor.
Donak, this guy who steals artifacts from other cultures. I'm guessing he's got a British accent. He'd fit right into the British Museum, huh? Oh yeah, that's right. I'm getting political here. But seriously, the British Museum needs to start returning so many of its stolen treasures to the countries they stole them from. But that's a topic for a. But that's not a topic to talk about with during a video game.
Just tell me where to start looking.
At least not this
I'll
one.
upload the data to your nav system. But Commander, I want to be there when you find him.
So long, Wrex.
Shepard.
Alright, I started this video by talking to Wrex. Seems appropriate to end it by talking after talking to Wrex. So, hope you enjoyed this. And have a nice day.